Hey everyone, this is Nick from Mecha Warehouse, and today we're back with weekly update number 58. And it feels like it's been like forever since the last one, since last week was kind of a weird week. So we've got a ton of things to talk about. So with that said, let's just jump right into it with week in review. So first off, the obvious one is that last Friday was Black Friday. Thursday was the big sale. If you didn't see it yet, we've got the vlog up. We recorded basically the entire weekend, packing orders, loading the truck. I answered some random questions and just some good behind the scenes kind of stuff. I think it's one of our best vlogs yet. And so check that out if you're interested. But to kind of recap the weekend and everything, Thursday ended up being our second best day ever. The sale started at 8 p.m. on Thursday. So second best day ever in terms of gross sales. The weekend, I think, is probably our biggest weekend ever, though, with the sale. And that's exciting, but it was great. Compared to last year, I think last year I got bogged down a bit packing orders, and it probably took a couple days past the end of the weekend to get caught up. And because of my amazing team, we were able to stay caught up through the whole weekend and basically not skip a beat at all, despite the higher than usual order volume, which is great. I'm really excited about that. We even got some pre-orders packed and shipped out on Monday too, so that was just kind of great all around. So if you participated in the sale, thank you for your hard-earned money. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see an even bigger one next year. So I guess continuing through the weekend here, we also had announced our repaired contest winners on Saturday during the live stream. So congratulations to Magnus Builds, build number 8 for first place, Patty Crosby, build number 1 for second place, Hazama Sama, build number 10 for third place, and TJ Van Lant for fourth place, build number 22. Some amazing builds. The entire contest, we had a ton of great builds. There really weren't like any horrible builds or anything, and the difference between some are great and some were just good. But it was exciting to see all that come through, and everybody's amazing work. So congratulations to our winners. Congratulations to anybody who participated for putting themselves out there and giving it a try. It definitely takes a little bit of courage to do a build for a contest like that and put your work out into the world like that. And so you should pat yourself on the back for giving it a go. We'll be doing a video in the next week or two that will be a critique video. We've asked all the participants for their permission, and we will critique some or all of the builds with the judges and just kind of get judges' feedback on them. And I think that'll be a great learning experience, both for the competitors themselves and anybody else who's interested in this kind of stuff, to get a perspective on maybe why their build lost in a round or what they could have done better, things like that. We also hit 1K members on Discord recently. So if you're not aware, we've got a Discord for customers. Basically, after you make a purchase, you usually get an email with an invite link to join. We've got things and dents, the clearance sales, incoming orders, feedback on how many to order of certain things or what products would be good, things like that. It's been growing steadily since the beginning, and we finally crossed that 1K threshold, which is another exciting thing. I feel like I'm going to overuse that word today. But it comes with a cost. Apparently, you can no longer see who's offline on the server as a result, so I'm annoyed about that. So if anyone knows a workaround to that, I would love to see it. I thought some of my channels were empty for a second. It was really surprising. Two more things to talk about, I guess, before we move on to pre-orders and restock. So next one, if you watched the vlog, you might have even caught kind of a glimpse of this. We're going to start instituting restock and cancellation fees. It's going to be like 5% for canceling an order, and that's basically to cover our cost, because we still have to pay the transaction fee even if we have to refund the money. We don't get the transaction fee from the credit card processor back. We're going to waive these fees in the case where we make a mistake or something. If we're canceling it because we don't have something in stock or something like that, that's obviously on us. And also, we're going to allow people to get the full money back if you take it in the form of a store credit, which in the short term will be implemented via a non-expiring gift card. So that way you can get all your money and just put it into a future purchase. This whole thing kind of came about because of, honestly, I feel like the Battlelog pre-orders were the worst culprits of anything. And I think a lot of that's just because of the whole Target situation. Target got these before anybody else did by a long shot. People place their pre-orders, they get antsy, they see it in front of them in the store, they're willing to pay a few bucks extra, buy it from Target in person, and then they want to cancel their order. And it's a little bit frustrating because those cost us money when people cancel those orders because we don't get those transaction fees back. And rather than just get upset about it, we're going to start instituting a fix so that way we don't have to start eating those fees indefinitely. But if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out, and we'll probably won't institute that on any orders prior to today, or I think December 1st was when I technically put it up. So any order December 1st or earlier, we will honor how we were doing things before, but new orders, we're going to start following this new process. And then finally, the last thing to talk about for Week in Review is stream donations. If you watched the vlog, you saw some of them. We had a customer purchase $500 worth of stuff to donate to our live streams for the giveaways. We also had another individual send us a great big pile of limited kits from Gundam Base. So we got a Gundam Base limited Gundam Barbatos metal gloss injection. So that's number one there. We've got a Gundam Base limited RX-78 metal gloss injection. So another metal gloss one, an RX-78. Gundam Base limited Gundam 00 Trans Am Clear, another Gundam Base kit. And it looks like we got two of those. And a RX-78 version Hot 6. And we had a third person donate a kit they won off the clearance on Dings and Dents. So a ton of prizes coming up. If you're not aware, I do a live stream every Saturday night. I build something, we talk about gunpla, and we give away stuff. And so we've got a lot of great stuff to give away. A Sazabi for a Ka, some real grades, some cool Kotobukiya kits. If you want a piece of that action, you can join us pretty much every Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern here on the YouTube channel. And hopefully we'll see you there. And that is it for Week in Review. I feel like that was a lot. So let's talk about pre-orders next. We posted up a bunch of pre-orders earlier this week. We got our December confirmations. So the new, I think that's the new Zaku 2 went up. Acrylic displays, Common Rider kit, Figure-Eye Standard Metal Garurumon, some more RG Ava stuff, HGL Tyson, another 30-minute sister, the Arca Culti quartet form, the new 30-minute missions EXA vehicle, which is a pretty cool looking mech design, and the new decals are coming out with the SD Gundam World Heroes number 16 and 17, Sai Tendai Sei Goku Impulse Gundam Victory Battle Victory Buddha, and the Ryusan Liu Bei the Final Battle Form Unicorn Gundam. So bunch of Bandai stuff, and then also the Crossframe Girl Dark Magician Girl. I think that's Yu-Gi-Oh. Bunch of stuff up for pre-order. So if you are interested in any of that, check out the pre-order link down below and take a look at that stuff. And with that said, let's move on to restocks, which will probably be the next 30 minutes of video here because we got a ton of restocks this week. One of our bigger restocks in a while. So our first batch of Gundam Battlelog stuff showed up. So Goof Crimson Custom, Gundam Ground Combat Urban Type, or Urban Combat Type, I hope I said that right. The Wing Gundam Sky Zero, and the Gundam Astray Red Frame Inversion. All these look really cool. I've been telling myself I don't need any of them because they're just recolors of kits I probably already have, like that Ground Type. But I really kind of feel an urge to grab one. So maybe you do too. We got a ton of those in, so great time to grab them with the restock. We also got the first kit from the AIM, with, doesn't even say the name in English on the box here. Is a Battle at the something. I don't know. It's from that new series.
Yeah, the one we were trying to figure out what.
It's like something at the borderline or something, right?
Yeah.
Warrior at the borderline,
Yeah,
or
AIM is like the shortened acronym version of the title or something.
yeah, something like that. Okay, so anyway, we also, for new stuff, we got 30-minute sisters. I don't think I have everything 30-minute sisters up here, but we got the Taisha, something like that. Those came in. We actually got a few Rishettas, which were supposed to show up first and didn't for some reason. We got a few from a secondary supplier, so we were able to fulfill a few pre-orders for those, but we don't have other stock. But we also got some of the accessory packs. There's more than what I'm showing here, but for brevity. So those will be up today. We also got 2 master grades in, both from Age, the Gundam Age 1 Normal, and the Age 2 Dark Hound. Apparently, Orion really likes this design. I can't imagine why. Let's see, what else? Another Pokemon kit, another Pikachu. I think that's an older kit. We've got Mr. Turntable L. This is the first time carrying this. But we got a few other paints and supplies, I think, restocked. Not many, but a few in this batch. We've got some SD Gundam World Heroes restocks, number 2 and 3. So Sergeant Verd, Buster Gundam, and the Nobunga Gundam Epion. So 2 more of those in stock. We have our first LBX kit. I've never built one of these. I've heard they're kind of SD-ish in terms of build. Fairly simple articulation, but might be worth checking out if you're into LBX or looking for something different to build. Starting to get to the good stuff here. So Imperial Dramon, another Digimon kit. So we got one of those. We've also got, let's do these next. Razor Crest, so the third of the Mandalorian kits we're still waiting on. I think the Mandalorian Beskar silver coating version is the last one we're waiting on to receive. We also have 2 other Star Wars kits, the AT-ST and AT-AT for the first time at Mecha Warehouse. I think those are older releases compared to some of the other Star Wars stuff, but they're robots, so they gotta be good, right? We also got a pair of IBO kits. We've got the Fluoros. We sold out of these. We got some in a couple weeks ago, and they sold out pretty fast, so hopefully they'll last a little bit longer this time, but I wouldn't wait super long. And the Gundam Fusion Rebake Full City, so another one of those. And now a whole bunch, I guess a bunch is relative, but we got some Universal Century stuff too. So the RX-78 entry grade, haven't had these in a while. These I hear are great builds, great gifts for beginners, great for painting because they're a simple build, and I've seen some really cool stuff built off of those, and they're inexpensive. We got some gun tanks. So these are an older kit, but if you need a gun tank to go with your granddaddy, we've got the Shin Matsunaga Custom HG kit. So this is a white Zaku. It's a really cool kind of color scheme design. I have a feeling a lot of it is due to stickers, but I know some decals exist for that kit. So kind of a cool one. HG Easy 8, always a favorite. Solid kit there. The HG GM Sniper 2. We haven't had GMs in a while. GMs always disappear super fast. We need to get more, and some of these orders are the older side. So that's why we don't have as many as we want, and they'll probably sell fairly quickly. We also got the real grade Zaku 2 Char version, and probably the fastest seller of this restock, the HG Kshatriya. We only got, I think, 12 in, and a few had to get pulled for things in dents. So I expect those to disappear almost instantaneously. So if you want one of those, I wouldn't wait. And then finally, pull the paper off of this. This is our, I think I got these accidentally because I don't usually get figures, but this is the, I think this is the WeGo British version or something like that, Neo-British, something like that. And it's a 1/35 scale painted figure. If you're into those and like a little cute WeGo design for your desk or something, we've got those in. And I think that's all we got for restocks. Like I said, there's a few other 30-minute Sisters accessories. There's a few paints and other tools. We might have Infini up for restock this week. We've got to figure out if we can check that in time because it's not checked in as of recording this video. But if that's the case, we might have Infini up for restock as well. So that was restocks. Let's move on to Q&A. So Q&A, this is the part where I answer questions from viewers and viewers like you. If you've got a question you'd like answered, whether it be about Mecha Warehouse, myself, Gunpla, whatever, you can post it down in the comments below, and I'll try to answer it next week. So the first question we have, taking questions from potentially both the last weekly update and the one before. Since last weekly update, I only answered the Black Friday questions. So first question I have here is from Aero-Moose. Question for the next video. If it may have been asked before though and just missed it, have you ever thought about different shipping tier to allow for next day delivery, 2-day, etc.? And yes, I have definitely considered it. We've even shipped things next day or 2-day for people that have asked. They would contact us and then we would get that quote. I would need to build a shipping table for that. It would, I think, add a little bit of complexity in terms of loading the truck. Usually the UPS driver would ask, if it's not our normal driver, if we have any next day air or anything like that. But we'd have to figure out how to charge for that because I think it gets a little bit more complex for next day air. I'm not 100% sure, but we basically have a table that says the box is this size. We know what our average cost of shipping that size box is across the country, and we use that to figure out what we should charge for shipping. And we'd have to do a lot of math and a lot of trial and error to figure out what that table would look like for, you know, next day air or 2-day or whatever kind of options. In my experience so far, when we have had to ship those, it is a ton more. It's not just a little bit more. You know, your $13 kind of shipping box that may be, you know, a handful of master grades or something that we charge $13 for might cost us like $20 or whatever it is, might cost $40, $50, whatever. And so those, I would expect if we did do that, those shipping charges would be massive. And maybe it's worth it to people. I guess if you are one of those people that would like that option, you can post that down in the comments below. I think our shipping tends to be pretty fast because we get it out the door pretty quick. And it tends to be a week or less, but maybe that's something you're interested in. Okay, next question. David Hovick asks, I guess I should finally ask this question. What is it that you get such small orders in Canadian Gundam and other Canadian shops get loads of pallets in all of the time? So there are probably like 2 or 3 reasons. Number one is just supply issue. We order X amount of stuff. They decide to only send us Y amount of stuff where Y is less than X. And that depends on what everybody else is ordering. We've kind of talked about that at length in other videos about how that ordering process works. The other part of it is I place orders based on what I need now. If we basically were estimating, you know, how many do we need to last 6 or 12 months for, you know, starting now based on our historical data and such. Sometimes our historical data is kind of out of date. If the last time we had something or something similar was a year ago, we needed a different number than we do now. And we try to account for that in our ordering process. 2, we order those items and then they get delayed or they fill them, you know, 6 months later than they were supposed to. And now that data is even further out of whack. 2 years ago, it was a pretty big deal for me to order 6 of something. Now it's nothing to order 60 or 100 of something, and we often order way more of certain things. And I think that's a big piece of it. Part of it might be, it sounds like Canada has a little bit less of the supply issues we have. Canadian Gundam, I think, is like the big player in Canada. And so they might have better luck with getting bigger shipments in. I can't really control what they actually send us versus what we want. I just know that we often get less than we actually want, and we often get things later Like we've had orders that came in mid this year that were supposed to show up late last year, and that 6-month lag coupled with the ordering lag of 6 or 12 months on some of those things means that we're getting the quantities we wanted a year ago, not the quantities we want now. And it's really hard to predict those kind of cycles. Hopefully that makes sense and answers the question for you. Roy Mustang asks, who do you use as a delivery service? I ordered my Wargreymon kit the moment you posted it last Friday, and it was at my house, Iowa, by Wednesday. Dang. So I guess this goes right into that earlier question about 2-day shipping, and some cases you kind of get 2-day shipping almost, depending on where you're located. We use UPS or USPS. UPS for larger boxes and further distances, typically speaking, and post office for smaller stuff. There's a threshold where the post office is less expensive to ship things. So typically if you order like a small high grade kit or an SD or something, it's almost always going to go via the post office. If it's larger, say a Sosby Verkot, it's almost always going to go via UPS. If it's got hazmat stuff like certain paints, it's going to go UPS because the post office uses air, and we can't ship those things by air without, I think, following some extra stringent regulations that we're just not in a place or willing to do right now. And which one it is really depends on which one is the least expensive that will get it there in a reasonable amount of time when we compare the two when we're packing the order. And that typically falls big things UPS, small things post office. And I think that is all we have for questions this week. This has been running pretty long, so hopefully all the annoying stuff that slowed me down will get cut out. And if you have a question, post it down in the comments below. I'll try to answer it next week. And otherwise, thank you for watching. See you next time.